Hello everyone, this is Strawberry Shorty back with Otogirisou, and I do think we got an alternate version of the original ending we got, because looking at the ending list thing, it's not a clear ending list, it's mostly just mentioned as a way to unlock like a special bookmark, but there's like 10 endings you need to view, so I'm pretty sure we did in fact just continue on with, and like one of them is A and A2, and they're both called the Burns ending, but one is piano and one is coffin. So I think we got coffin the first time and piano this time. So let's just skip all this because we're in the car. Trees look like monsters. Nami is sleeping. Sees a car. And we've gotten all these before, so premonition of something sinister. There's the flowers. Embellish the story, make it a spooky. We'll make it a little spooky. So far, these are all options we've seen before, which at least will save us some time, but I don't know how interesting the playthrough will be. I think we've all seen this part enough. I enjoyed seeing how sentimental she could be. Wonder if I'd taken it a little too far. I thought I'd change the subject. This will say take it too far. I don't know if it's a new one. I began to wonder if I'd taken it a little too far. Suddenly, Nami started looking around. And that was just, are we lost? We're going easy. Now there's no way we're lost. Scenic route. Yeah. Now there's no way we're lost, I said, if only because I wanted it to be true. B, well, hey, just think of it as taking the scenic route. I put on a strong front. C, it figures you'd notice so quickly, Nami. I exaggerated. We'll pick C. Headlights appeared like on the left side of the screen for a few seconds. Whoa! Chicken on a skewer! What the frick is that? I shouted. That's a weird way to say it. We ended up driving past the oncoming car, though we almost crashed. Phew. Hey, did you just say chicken on a skewer? I thought I was gonna die, and it was the first image that came to my mind. Weird. You know, Nami, something's kind of been bothering me, actually. Huh? What is it? Those headlights just now. Did you get the feeling that all we saw were lights and there wasn't actually a car there at all? There's another one! Or is this a flashback? Whoa, again? Our definitely new territory right now. Did you see that? Yeah, I did. You're right. There wasn't any car there at all. Just the lights and the sound, right? Could it be a ghost car? I mean, I think even ghost cars typically have bodies. We'd both seen it this time. Those weren't headlights. They were two floating balls of fire, like the souls of the dead, floating side by side. Were they floating like mystical foxes? I wonder if it's actually Kitsune. If these fireballs really were the souls of the dead, they must have been quite a couple. Maybe a couple of total pervs. We were reacting very strangely. It was weird. I'm thirsty. Should we stop then? I stepped on the brakes. Huh? Nami, the brakes aren't working. What? Wah! I'll pour the parking brake. No, stupid. That's not it. Ah! And then, A, my thoughts were simple. I'm gonna die. B, suddenly I realized, man, I'm starving here. C, I gritted my teeth, telling myself, always drive safely. I think I'll go with A, though I'm tempted to pick B. My thoughts were simple. I'm gonna die. Then the car stopped. I thought the game messed up for a second. How did you do that? Telekinetic power. I just focused and the car stopped. Just like that. Nami would know that I hadn't done anything at all. Oh? Nami stared at me blankly. Hey, doesn't it feel like the car is moving? The car was gradually moving forward. It was changing direction, too, like the hands of a clock. It set itself right in front of a big cedar tree and stopped. Well, y'all know where this is going. So I waited, almost hoping that the car would start flying in the air next. B, I remember a similar setup in this one parking lot I'd been in. C, it hit me that some cars must have this feature. A, well, there goes the tree. We better get out of the car. We just die. Game ends immediately. Whoa, Nami, run! Half of the car got split in half, and one half smashed. I think it's supposed to be half of the tree got split in half, and one half smashed right down on my car. Oh shoot, I'd only put a down payment on it. Well, that one's not new. Tongue-tied. Nami is beautiful. We're hungry. Want to eat steak with Nami. A, I figured it'd be my treat. B, I'm sure she has enough to split the bill. C, I imagined what would happen if she didn't have enough to split the bill. Pick C. I took Nami by the hand. No! She was acting like I had groped her or something. Hey, Nami. Oh, sorry, Shorty. Your face looked like some kind of dried up mummy for a second there. Huh? I think we got that line before. Mummy? Ah! Nami came over and clung to me. The rain's getting worse. Let's pick up the pace. Oh, Nami and I both said the same thing at the same time. There was a line of nothing but hyperiorisms. I think we could probably skip this. There's the flowers. Let's go check it out for the time being. Maybe we shouldn't go, or I'll race you to the light. Ready, go! Let's race. I'll race you to the light. Ready, go! The two of us ran. There's the house. Suddenly the view opened up. The place looked like it had been built in medieval Europe, deconstructed, and then rebuilt here in Japan. Emanated with mystical energy. Don't want to go in there. And Nami doesn't want to go in. Something bad's definitely going to happen. And let's head back. If there's any bugs, I'll take them on. Be quiet and follow me. Play the last one. Be quiet and follow me. I clung close to Nami. At that moment, my body got pushed away from Nami. I spun around and hit the ground. We deserved it that time. She did a karate move on us. I guess we'll say this time, feeling like I was about to cry. Did we not pick that one? Did we pick that one before? We either rubbed our sore butt or we cried. Pick the butt one. I rubbed my sore butt as I passed at the gate. As I Perry Sims again, the wind's growing stronger, moved the flashlight back and forth to see what was around. There were flowers all around us. Nami stopped in her tracks. These are all hyperiorisms. Oh, she was right. As far as I could see, there were hyperiorisms swaying in the wind. Seeing Nami looking so scared, I thought to myself, it's not like the flowers are going to do anything to us. B, I realized that this is where I should have told her the legend behind the flowers. C, I stared at her, mesmerized by how beautiful she was. B, I realized that this is where I should have told her the legend behind the flowers. Wait, several meters from the entrance, Nami stopped. Look at the shadow of that tree. Somebody's there. Is this where we see the head? Where? I shined the flashlight over. I reached over like a long arm to light up the shadow of the trees. Nobody's there. Then I moved the light up. Ah! It looked like a brown severed head. Oh, it's a wasp nest. So we're gonna free from the wasps. I take her hand and run for our lives. Tried to shield Nami from the wasps as he ran, thinking we would ward them off. I flung my arms around, throwing a fit as I ran. See, thinking I might be able to ward them off, I flung my arms around, throwing a fit as I ran. We made it to the entrance, and then, even though we hadn't even pushed it, the door opened for us on its own. What in the world is going on here? I took a peek inside, but I didn't see anybody. Was that an automatic door, maybe? And then there's supposed to be someone to check us in. It's a joke. Look at the mansion. We're in a foreign country. Yeah, this could put a girl in the mood, so I look at Nami in the eyes and say, hey, Nami, we picked that one before. I put my hand on Nami's shoulder and said, why don't we have a seat on the sofa here? And I said, wait right here. And I gingerly brushed some of the dust off the sofa. So we'll pick C. I said, wait right there, and gingerly brushed some of the dust off the sofa. It was a huge hall. The ceiling was high and drafty. The lights were on, but the place wasn't well lit. Are all mansions like this inside? Is anybody here? I could hear my voice echo. Nobody replied. The whole place felt empty. What caught my attention was the staircase across the way, the sofa in front of the fireplace, and the suit of armor beside it. At the edge of the room was an old-looking clock that seemed big enough to fit a person inside, as well as a humongous aquarium that seemed very out of place. Do you think nobody else is here? Nami said, with fear in her voice. Guess it's as good as mine. That suit of armor is looking at me. Nami shouted right into my ear. That's weird. Just a second ago, it was facing the aquarium. Yeah, we've definitely seen this before. Oh no, there you go again, saying something weird. We decided just not to look at the suit of armor anymore. Okay, we're looking at the aquarium. Do you think they keep a big fish in there? A, if we stir it up, we'll find out. I looked around for something I could use. B, let's look in from above. I headed around to the back of the aquarium. C, uninterested, I stepped away from the aquarium. We'll pick... I was going to pick C, but let's pick A, because I want to know what'll happen. If we stir it up, we'll find out. I looked around for something I could use. Behind the giant aquarium, there was a ladder for feeding the fish. I picked up a rod that I found on the floor and climbed up the ladder. I wonder if the rod will get destroyed. I took a peek in the tank. The water was murky and calm. It didn't seem like anything could live in there. How does it look? Like a dead swamp. I stirred the water around with the rod. Whoa, what happened? I could feel something in there. I lifted the rod. It's gone. Huh? The rod. Half of it's been chewed off, called it. It was now the same length as a pestle. It's got bite marks on it. Hey, look at the water. The water was undulating. Something's in there. I looked closely. The water calmed down, like nothing had happened. And there's the wheelchair. Mom and I were both stunned. What was that sound? It's on the second floor. Somebody else must be here. Let's go. We walked over to the staircase. Well, the suit of armor's gone again, as always. Walked slowly up the stairs. Nami thinks we're being watched. We're going to see... I think we picked all these, so we'll just say terrified. I raced up the stairs. A second this way. We open the door. It's dark. Wooden table. Check the cloth. Door suddenly slammed. I panicked. I turned the doorknob. Still, I paid it no mind and walked over to check out the book on the table. Nami, look at the door, I yelled. We'll just ignore it and check out the book. Still, I paid it no mind and walked over to check out the book on the table. Oh, my foot got snagged on a cord and the stand crashed to the floor. The red light shined on the floor, lighting up the legs of the smaller table. Oh, is this where we speak to the lady? Don't realize she's a mummy. Yeah, we speak to her, apologize, then we realize it's a mummy. We escape to the hallway, it's dark everywhere. Let's use the lighter in our pocket. Well, we got the flashlight now. Mommy's gone. Nami collapses because her legs hurt. Hey, I didn't want to scare Nami, so I decided to go check out the mummy myself. I was scared, so I asked Nami to go and check for me. I was too afraid to go alone, so I decided we should go together. Let's check by ourselves. I didn't want to scare Nami, so I decided to go check out the mummy by myself. Where are you going? Nami called out to me from behind. I'm going to go and find out whether or not that mummy was real. Who cares if it was real? Let's just stop. Nami was terrified. But I'm curious. And Nami, you're scared, too. We need to find out the truth. We just might have mistaken it for something it wasn't. That's true, but still. I'll be right back. I walked over to the staircase. Wait! Don't leave me alone here. I'll go too. I returned to the door of the room we had entered before. The door had been left open. So, almost certainly going to be the same thing. Mummy is gone. Lights go back on. There's a black cat. She's focused on the cat. We pick up the book. 6 years ago. Blood-covered page. I muttered to myself, could this be the mummy's blood? B, we shouldn't be looking at someone else's diary. I closed it right away. C, I said something without thinking. Red blood, the green on your look. The green look on your face, and a yellow hyperium. It's almost like... Or D, I smirked. Want to lick it? Most of these are different options, but we'll say, want to lick it? I smirked. Want to lick it? My joke fell flat. Mommy's expression went from green to pale, and she dropped her head like it was about to fall off. And then she collapsed. Oh dear. Hey, Nami! I struggled to hold Nami up. Snap out of it. Cat's not even addressed. Just meows. Snap out of it. I shook her by the shoulder, and she opened her eyes. We should go back town for the time being. We returned to the hall, feeling shaken up. The mansion had gone ridiculously quiet. Hey, what are we going to do now? Well, we don't have any choice other than to stay here today. You're not afraid? As long as we stick together, Nami. Yeah, we saw this part already. Eager to spend the night with Nami. Someone's just pranking us. Tough it out until the morning. A personal robot is coming for us. Suit of armor is stomping along. We want to get out of here. A, I had already started running. I ran straight past Nami. I ran saying, you don't have to tell me twice. Pick C. I ran saying, you don't have to tell me twice. Shorty. Nami? We couldn't keep going forward. What's happening? There was nothing holding us back. No wall before us. No matter how much we tried to move our legs, all we could manage to do was stomp our feet. This also sounds familiar. We're going backwards little by little. Yep. Machine set up in the hallway. We got blown back. We hit the aquarium. Can't leave. I thought we should get out of this mansion one way or another. B, I figured we shouldn't go over our heads trying to escape. C, I folded my arms and thought really hard about what we should do next. B, I figured we shouldn't go in over our heads trying to escape. Time to start exploring. Exploring? The mansion doesn't want us to leave, apparently. We might as well check the place out. I'm going to examine every single nook and cranny, even if you don't want to. What are you, Edgeworth? You look cooler when you're angry, Shorty. Why even bother telling me that? It's not like I can be angry 24/7. Over there was light peeking out from behind the gaps of the door Nami... Over there was a light peeking out from the gaps of the door Nami was pointing at. Someone's going to be in there this time, yeah? I placed my hand on the doorknob. Wait. Nami politely knocked on the door, but there wasn't any response. Are they out, I wonder? Well, I'm opening it up anyway. I pulled the door open. Whoa, oh, fireballs. I was taken aback by what I saw. It's a gathering of fiery souls. My response was, A, let's get out of here. B, it's just some burning phosphorus, that's all. C, ... I'd fallen back on my butt. It's just some burning phosphorus, that's all. Huh? Really? Yeah, really. I know my stuff when it comes to science. Despite saying that, I trembled as I opened the next door. Yeah, what's the big deal? It's a cat. Yeah, it is a cat, but... The cat's eyes glowed in the darkness, floating through the air, even higher up than our own eyes. They're sticking around. Turn the lights on. Then we looked around for the light switch and flipped the lights on. The cat became a bat. Whoa. Ah! The cat turned into a bat. Nami was scared. Then I said, hey, no way, both a bat and a cat were there. That's all there is to it. B, the bat probably just carried the cat away somewhere. C, that must be a cat bat. C, that must be a cat bat. And then I returned to the entrance hall with Nami. We just left, didn't explore at all. I noticed something in the shadow of the sofa. Phone! I pulled it over, only to be disappointed. Oh, the cord's been cut. The cord looked more like it had been chewed through, with wires sticking out of it. Mice, huh? It had to be mice. Nami sounded scared as she said it. Something's here. Huge black shadow cut through my line and vanished, and it's a fish. She thinks it's a fish monster. Or we think it's a fish monster. Phone's ringing. Maybe I scared reach for the phone, glared at the phone for a moment. We'll glare at it. Nami took the call. She says someone is screaming. I don't hear anything. What are we gonna do? I hear something on the second floor. Was the person who called in the building? We head upstairs with Nami. Alright, there, that door at the end. I forged ahead in spite of the danger. B, the second room from the back looked suspicious. C, I walked over with Nami in front. Let's start from here already. I impatiently opened the closest door, so I'm pretty sure we picked C already, so... We'll say the second room from the back looks suspicious. Wait, why's Nami in front? Did we pick the wrong one? I'm annoyed. Pedestal with the black cloth, hexes, rituals. Cat dropped a vase. She picked up the cat. I could smell blood. I don't trust the cat. Cat made the noise. Picked up Hyperion flower. We know now that it means revenge. When I said to Nami, maybe the cat was trying to tell us something. Maybe the cat, the suit of armor, that's all that's here. Do you know the meaning of a black cat? Well, we did all those things, so let's just pick B. Maybe the cat, the suit of armor, and the mummy are all that's here. Oh, we can't open that one door. Nobody on the second floor. We're trying to open the unopenable door. Nami doesn't want to. She's hungry. She's acting weird. We can't open it anyway. So we're heading downstairs. As I headed to the dining room with Nami, I thought for sure they'd have something good to eat there. I hoped they'd have something good to eat and force us to believe they did. I realized I hadn't eaten one single healthy meal this whole week with Pixie. We found the refrigerator and emptied it of its contents quickly. Yeah, it's all delicious. Things stand out there. I wish I could have washed it down with a cold beer, no alcohol. Now we've been drugged with some sort of love potion and we're acting weird. We wake up. This is where we wake up with Nami, and she kisses us on the forehead, but it's actually Naomi. Nami returns. She got us ice water. I was foggy, but I was still drunk. I thought, I like Nami and all, but I like this other Nami too. There's no such thing as too many Namis, or had both of these Namis fallen for me? B, there's no such thing as too many Namis. There's the scream. We suddenly got hit by a scream. What was that just now? A woman. I remember that young woman who looked like Nami. You know, the naughty thing on our mind. Being a pervert. We're arguing over which door to go. Same option, so we shouldn't have shut every door we already checked. Here's a lab. Creepy model skeleton. Find the light switch. It's just a screeching door. Nami is drinking the liquor that we'd taken as a weapon. The bottle broke. Now we're covered in whiskey. And we have to go take a shower. Feeling flustered, I started doing some warm-up stretches. B, I heaved Nami onto my shoulders and ran with her, riding piggyback. C, I hid my sweaty palms from her. B, I heaved Nami up onto my shoulders and ran with her, riding piggyback. She has no comment. The bathroom was thick with some sort of white steam, but I wasn't sure what exactly it was. Hold on, Nami. Okay. Nami entered quickly. I said, hold on, not enter. Nami started to wash her face. The white steam got sucked into her reflection in the mirror and vanished, extending to silence. I couldn't believe my eyes, but Nami seemed to be totally unfazed. Her reflection smiled at me from the mirror. She didn't seem to have noticed what had just happened. You should get washed up too, Shorty. Your face might not rot off if you don't. Thanks. I'll just wash my face then, for starters. Flustered, I changed places with Nami and started washing my face. I felt sort of like I was being watched, so I looked up. Nami's reflection was looking at me, and her eyes had an otherworldly light to them. Other Naomi. A, I knew something was way off, so I turned around in a panic. B, I wondered what had happened, so I asked Nami about it. C, I focused on Nami's reflection in the mirror without trying to hide it. A, something's off because it's probably Naomi. I knew something was way off, so I turned around in a panic. What are you making that face for? What are you making that face for? Nami laughed, looking as nice as ever. Oh, well, I couldn't tell Nami that her face had just looked like a demon that no man would ever touch. I looked back at the mirror. Nami's reflection was still glaring at me. And now the usual Nami with her happy face was there as well. Nami! I turned around. What are you shouting for? Nami was laughing. Nami, the mirror. Is something wrong with the mirror? Now Nami and I were the only ones reflected in the mirror. Oh, I just wanted to know if you saw this beautiful girl that I just saw in it. Ha ha ha. I saw a sliding glass door further in. Nami, let's get out from here. I pulled open the sliding door. Beyond the door was a stylish and spacious bath and shower room. A, oh, the bathtub's here, huh? Let's leave. I turned back to Nami. B, Nami, we might as well take a shower, I said, looking over at the shower. C, all right, let's go in together. I followed after Nami. We'll pick A because it's so random. Oh, the bathtub's here, huh? Let's leave. I turned back to Nami. Shorty, maybe this is a bad time to ask this, but... Huh? Let's take a shower, okay? I'll make it quick. Just stand guard out there, okay? Out there. I should have known. Okay, I'll be right back with our change of clothes. Unless she's going to get the change of clothes. No, it's us. I rushed back to the entrance hall and brought our bag from here. Spoke up by the sliding door. Anything weird happened while I was gone? No problems here. Oh man, I imagined Nami's body and I figured there were no problems there either. I continued imagining what Nami looked like naked. Ah! That startled me. It was a scream of a butt-naked Nami! What's wrong? I was about to jump in there, but Nami jumped out first. It suddenly got so hot, she was totally covered up by a bath towel. Seems like the shower wasn't working right. There was steam everywhere, and hot water was spraying out. It almost looked like the shower itself was angry. Whoa, hot! I couldn't even bring myself to get close enough to adjust the temperature. They should have a boiler in the basement. I'll go look for it. So we can probably skip this. So we get the boiler stuff all the time. Fix the temperature. We're worried about Nami. In a panic, A, I vowed to never leave Nami alone as I ran to her. B, I set aside my worries and ran as fast as I could. C, one day I'm going to become a certified boiler inspector, I thought to myself as I ran. We'll pick C. One day I'm going to become a certified boiler inspector, I thought to myself as I ran. Nami! I flew into the bathroom, only to find that Nami wasn't there. But I could hear the sound of hot water running in the shower. Thank goodness, she's okay. I couldn't hold back anymore. I ripped off my clothes and entered the shower. Still, Nami wasn't in there either. The large bathtub had hot water pouring from the mouth of a lion, and the bath was just about to overflow, but there was no sign of Nami. Nami. For the time being, I tried getting into the tub. Not even going to look for her. I'd never been in such a big tub. It was like being in some sort of fancy hotel. It sounds like he's opening and closing the sliding door. I thought Nami might be hiding behind something to pop up and scare me. Is there somewhere she could hide in here? I looked around, but I couldn't find her. Suddenly, the door opened. I heard footsteps and the sound of someone getting into the tub. You couldn't see them? I wasn't alone anymore, but I couldn't see who was there with me because of the steam. Nami? I struggled to see through the steam. It was the mummy, along with the suit of armor and the fish monster. Well, this is getting real weird. They all looked at me. It was like they were smiling at me. Here's the fan art we need. And then they vanished in the water. Ah! I jumped for the door. If I'm imagining this sort of thing now, it's all over for me. The door wouldn't open. It seemed like somebody must have locked it from the outside. Who could have done this? Nami? It couldn't be. Hey, Nami! Open the door! Pounded on the door hard. At a time like this, I decided to buckle down and get serious. B, I couldn't just sit back and relax. C, I wasn't going to start crying. D, one should always be prim, proper, and presentable, as the saying goes, preferably. Big D. I reached over to the sliding door to open it, figuring I could just leave. It wouldn't open, though. Was the door locked from the outside? Nami. Hey, Nami! I tried to force the door open, but the handle just popped right off. That moment, the bathtub faucet in the shower both started spraying out water at full blast. Water was even coming up from the drain, and the whole shower room was filling up with water. Nami! Nami! No matter how much I shouted, Nami wasn't coming. The water reached my ankles, and my shins, and then my knees, and it was still rising. Yeah, but you can't swim, so... Hanging on the wall, earthquake. Holes are appearing, we escape through one. Earthquake stops. Change your clothes. Where is Nami? Nami could have been taken. I screamed. A, I'm here. Answer me. If you can't say anything, at least make a noise. I'll come right over. Maybe she has no choice but to keep quiet. Right now, what can I do? I'll say A. I'm here. Answer me. In the end, I had to go back to the entrance hall. When I did, I saw Nami heading up the stairs. Nami! I shouted out to her, but she didn't turn around or react at all. It looked like she had something dangling from her hand. It was a dead bat. Nami? I ran up the stairs. Nami wasn't in the hallway, though. What's going on here? Then, A, I tried to see if I could hear anything. B, I headed toward a room with the lights on. C, I went with my gut feeling, unreliable as it was. Gut feeling? Where was Nami? This was the room. I was sure of it. Nami was sitting in the corner of the room, holding her knees. Nami, Shorty, Nami was crying. What happened, Nami? I told you not to go anywhere. Don't run off like that. She doesn't know how she got here. We saw this before. Are you asking me? She was drying her hair. I felt a man's arms around her. She was shivering. A, a man? Tell me everything. I was going to find out every single detail. B, don't worry. I'm here with you. I put my arm around Nami's shoulder. C, then someone else is here, just as I thought. I just felt a chill run down my spine. Pick that one. Those are the dolls. I looked inside and was surprised at what I saw. There were dolls lined up everywhere. That's kind of a great room. I want to see this room. On every table, every shelf, every possible place that could have a doll, did have a doll. As it should be. Japanese dolls, French dolls, Indian dolls, Russian dolls. There were dolls from practically every country, princesses, dress-up dolls. And there were two of each of them. Why do they have two sets of every doll? Nami looked at the dolls, confused. It's like they're all talking to me here, but I don't know why. They all feel so familiar to me. What she said gave me goosebumps for some reason. Let's just leave this room. Right as I said that, I looked at the dolls and froze. Every single doll, which had been looking in all sorts of different directions until now, was now looking straight at me! All of the dolls seemed to be staring at me and Nami. Before Nami could notice, I ushered her out of the room. And then I was scared that the dolls would start walking around. B, I had a feeling that the dolls would call us to come back in, so I started running away. C, I had a feeling that they were going to turn us into dolls too. We'll pick C. I had a feeling that they were going to turn us into dolls too. Huh? There were strange marks, so there we go. Kite marks. We could skip these. Nami, Naomi, coincidence. Nami doesn't know if anything's wrong. A, I couldn't help but be curious what Nami was thinking. B, I figured it was more important that we just get out of here. C, I figured if she says it was nothing, so be it. More important we get out of here. Figured it was more important that we just get out of here anyway. We headed out through the back. There was a garage just beyond the terrace. Huh? Someone was standing in front of it. Hey, it looks like somebody's there. So Nami can see them too. Nami, don't you think that person kind of looks like the mummy we saw earlier? I'm sure they do look a lot alike. Lady Silly looked over at us. She vanished. Yeah, we saw this before too. We're telling ourselves we just imagined it. Walk to the gate. See a grave. It's been well taken care of. Nami's glaring at the grave. Nami's been here before. Somebody forced them to come here. Had fun with the sister, then she got taken away. She's freaking out. We don't believe her. She remembers the mansion she's trying to tell us. Classic car in a garage. Trying to say she just went there to play when she was a kid. Her head is throbbing. We gotta take her back the rest. She doesn't want to go back in there. I think this is when the car attacks us. I don't know why she's remembering all this. More of her memory's coming back. Hey, I remembered something now too. I lent you 5,000 yen earlier, Nami. You've got to pay me back. B, fine. Tell me whatever you can remember, Nami. See, enough of that. Let's just get out of here. I'm taking A. I remember something now too. I lent you 5,000 yen earlier, Nami. You've got to pay me back. Had a dad too. Nami trembled as she remembered him. No, we're just skipping past what we said. She's saying that her adoptive father's not her father. Dad was here with her, and Naomi, and mom, and brother. Brother died in an accident. That's why the wheelchair's there. No, wait, he was killed. She's getting crazier. Dad was always eating. He'd eat everything. This is what she said in the piano room. She's pointing to a pillar that shouldn't be there. Held her down because that's how I roll. Slapped Nami. Wouldn't let him meet Nami. We'll pick A. Held her down because that's just how I roll. It's not how anyone should roll, but it's the only option we haven't picked. I suddenly felt something sharp pressed up against my back. It was a knife. Yeah, you deserve it. A sweet aroma filled the air. I knew who it was. It was that ghost girl. But I was holding on to Nami tightly, so yeah, we just stabbed Nami with a skewered too. Pushed Nami away and turned around. Oh, it's the fish. Gaga, cried the fish monster. Yeah, again, I think we've seen this. Should be happening in the house, though. Yeah, suddenly we're in the house. Running. We've lost sight of Nami. A, I felt like I was Nami's babysitter. B, I noticed that there was a gecko on the wall. C, I thought to myself, there's no way I could ever be a gravekeeper. Let's talk about the gecko. I noticed that there was a gecko on the wall. Nami! We just moved on, I guess. I concentrated to see if I could see or hear her. Footsteps. I could hear someone walking through the walls. Or were they actually walking through the wall? So we've seen that. Fiery soul on the wall, walking alongside me. Nami screaming for us. I launched forward like a space shuttle, tracked her down like a satellite, ran efficiently. Yeah, I ran efficiently, trying not to emit too much harmful carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Nami! Nami was just standing there in a daze. Shorty, look. Nami said she has to have the notebooks. It's the 2 diaries written by a mother. Nami and Naomi's name. They prove that she was the child and they were twins. So how's she going to prove it? Date of birth, blood type. Yeah, this is all the same. She flew out of the room. Tells us not to follow her. She's let somebody die. She's about to let somebody die. She see blood on her hands. Hands of a killer. She's worried that she might end up killing us. I reflected on our situation. A, I had to get those thoughts out of Nami's head. B, I may not be able to change her mind, but I could still help her see. Maybe Nami was the one behind all this. Well, let's pick C. Maybe Nami was the one behind all of this. Fat Nami crouched down on the piano hall. Nami stood right up. Her face looked demonic. The window behind her shattered and Nami's face went back to normal. When I started to scream, more windows started to shatter, as if they were racing toward Nami. Shorty! Nami! Come this way! It was like we were being followed. Even the glass cabinet doors and mirrors were shattering. We dashed out of the room. Shut the door, Nami! The room went quiet. Hey, Shorty. Nami looked at me with tears in her eyes as she took my hand. Who would do something like this? Why is this happening to me? Nami was sobbing as she said it. Let's check out that diary, I said. That diary. I have a feeling it's the key to figuring out all this. Maybe we said that too. The diary that was in the room we had called the mummy's room. I knew it was Mom's diary. Nami rubbed the leather cover of the diary against her cheek as if she was trying to smell the old memories it contained. My dad and my little brother, who was 2 years younger than me, died in a car accident, and Mom had to choose between sending either me or my sister Naomi away. She wrote all about it here in detail. Nami wept as she turned the pages. Mom must have had it rough. I peeked over at the diary. Nami's mom was dealing with a lot of stress and loneliness after sending Nami off to an orphanage. Meanwhile, you have a nice mansion like this. I don't know how poorly you could be doing. July 3rd. Nami isn't here anymore. We should have been here together, enjoying her 7th birthday. Naomi keeps telling me that incessantly. She's been so lonely these days. July 5th. Naomi has been keeping herself shut away in her room. When I peek inside, I saw that she had taken out all of Nami's dolls and arranged them around her so she could feel like she was playing with Nami. The two of them got along so well, but I pulled them apart. July 7th. I put up decorations for the Star Festival, but Naomi still won't come out of her room. I gave her some papers so she could write down her wishes. I want to see Nami. I want to live with Nami. I want Nami to come back home. Every wish she wrote was something along those lines. Knowing that Nami must be in some other home, feeling just as lonely, makes my heart ache. Well, guess what? She's totally forgotten you guys. July 10th. Naomi still hasn't said a word to me. She just stays in her room almost all of the time. At night, I peeked in to look at her while she was asleep, but she was rolling around laughing. I figured she must have been dreaming that she was playing with her sister. She kept calling out Nami's name in her sleep. July 12th. Strange things have been starting to happen around Nami. Nami's not here. I think you mean Naomi. Things fall even when nobody's around. Things break. When it gets really bad, small bottles even start to move around. Nami and I looked at each other. It's a poltergeist. Maybe Naomi gained that power somehow. In her soul? All sorts of weird things have been happening around this mansion. Year by year, it will only get worse. July 3rd. It's Naomi's 8th birthday. I took a knife and tried to cut a slice of her birthday cake, but the birthday cake just turned to powder and scattered everywhere. Naomi says she's mad at Nami. I can only wonder if Nami's enjoying a birthday party somewhere today. July 18th. I looked at Naomi's diary. She's only been writing about her sister in it. I'm sorry, Nami. I'm sorry, Nami. I'm sorry, Nami. She wrote that over and over, pages of it. Naomi must think that she's the one who drove Nami out. July 21st. This is the most diary we've gotten ever. I took another peek in Naomi's diary, but when I did, it exploded in flames and burned to ash. She's even started saying that Nami scares her. These supernatural events are getting worse, along with her autism. just randomly, Naomi has autism. Naomi gained supernatural powers, but she doesn't even realize that she has them. She's convinced that Nami is doing it because she's angry at her. Each year, the poltergeist in this place grows more terrifying. Glass shatters, things break, and when it really gets bad, dozens of plates start floating in the air all at once, and then they fall to the ground and shatter. There have even been fires. The wall caught on fire, and the bed. Even my clothes caught on fire. It's especially bad every year on Naomi's birthday. Once, I found myself unable to move my arm. Half of my body got swallowed up by the wall. Naomi has been insisting that Nami scares her, and she becomes petrified as stone, her gaze fixed forward, never changing. It happens often. Naomi's face turned black, and her skin dried up like soil. And now, after 6 years, something terrifying is happening. Oh, just now. Okay, I'm going to read the last page, I said, and then proceeded. July 3rd. It's Naomi's 14th birthday. Where is Nami now, and what could she be doing to celebrate her birthday? I also wondered why Naomi hadn't come out of her room, and when I went to check on her, she had turned into a mummy. Oh, now Naomi's the mummy. What happened to Mother? My sister turned into a mummy? We were unable to say anything for a while. It was unbelievable. Naomi had gained so much supernatural power that it became too powerful for her to control, and it turned her into a mummy. But how could that even happen? Maybe it's her shadow? I remembered reading about it in a psychology textbook. Her shadow. It's a kind of consciousness. It's like another self we keep dormant. He's actually just talking about the manual for persona. It's our ego. We don't normally show it to others, but sometimes it gets let out and bad things happen when it does. people develop multiple personality disorders, experience supernatural phenomena, and so on. I'm guessing that Naomi was taken over by her shadow. Can you explain that to me again in a way I can understand? Look, there's a world in the TV. Okay, keep in mind, this is all just my own speculation. And then I told Nami what I thought. Naomi was lonely without you, Nami. You were her friend. She couldn't deal with that loneliness, but that was only conscious on the surface. Deep down within her, though, she began to resent you, Nami. And your mom, too. But why? Because you weren't there. The one who put her through this was her mom, who sent you away. Maybe she thought that you had run off and abandoned her, though. That's not true, Nami shouted. I was much lonelier than she was. That's right. I remember it clearly. There were so many days I spent all alone, just crying. I hated the fact that my own mom and sister had thrown me away. So then you know how Nami's shadow must have felt. Those feelings of resentment and hatred are what create a shadow. Naomi's strong feelings of resentment are what created her shadow. But it's strange, Nami said. Why would her own shadow turn herself into a mummy? That's the big question. It didn't make any sense to me either. Once her shadow got out, it was beyond her control. She probably couldn't forgive herself for letting the loss of her sister get to her so much. It seemed plausible. And Mom? Suddenly, Nami started shouting. Why isn't Mom here? Why did she stop writing in her diary 6 years ago? Did Mom do something to Naomi's shadow? I think it more might be the other way around. As if it was responding to Nami, the whole mansion began to shake. Maybe Mom is the mansion. What? Didn't that just seem like a reply? You gotta be kidding me. Try it one more time, then. Nami took a deep breath. Shadow, did you do something to my mom? See, that's the exact opposite of what you said before. See? Who's the one responding now? The mansion grew silent. Say something about your mom. Mom. It shook again. Mom? It shook yet again. Hey, what's going on here? A, I shouted, I know, your mom got turned into this house. B, I said, be careful, her shadow is haunting this mansion. I'll say A. I think the mom got turned into the house. Mother agrees. The mansion shook. It was an even bigger quake than before. That's a yes. The mansion is saying yes. I watched the mansion shake without saying a word. Mom, is what Shorty said true? Are you really turned into this house? That's a yes. It really was true. Is Naomi's shadow the one who did this to you, Mom? Nothing? Oh, no, there it goes. Huh? What happened? The shaking seems different up until now. It did get quiet all at once, huh? It was silent, and then there was a rattling noise. What could it mean? So there's no mistake. Your mom got turned into this mansion. But there's got to be something else she's trying to tell us. There must be something we still haven't figured out. Yes, that's what she's saying, Nami asked again. You did get turned into this mansion, didn't you, Mom? Judging by the quake, that was a yes. But Naomi's shadow didn't do that to you? When the mansion tried to answer, the diary was set ablaze. Whoa. Put it out! Put it out! Nami and I tried to beat away the flames, but the diary had been reduced to ash in an instant. Someone was trying to stop her from replying to us. I'll ask again. Mom, you can still respond, right? The house didn't shake. You can still respond, right, Mom? The mansion remained silent. She must be too afraid of the shadow. The two of us hadn't even noticed that we were trembling. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, Nami said. That sounds like a good idea. We headed out into the hallway. Suddenly, a sword came flying at me. Whoa! It was that suit of armor! Run, Nami! But the suit of armor was really only targeting me. It was trying to kill me. I barely managed to dodge the tip of the sword, but without any weapon, I had no way of fighting back. Well, it's armor. And then, hey, come with me, Nami, now! I grabbed Nami's hand and we ran to the staircase. B, darn, I watched onto the suit of armor's right arm, which was holding the sword. I was gonna pick B, but come with me, Nami, now! I grabbed Nami's hand and we ran to the staircase. Shorty! Don't let go of my hand, Nami. Oh, there's a fish monster. Then suddenly the fish monster appeared before me. Ah! Oh, darn. Don't be afraid, Nami. This is just another puppet that Naomi's shadow made. Doesn't mean it can't kill us. I charged up and headbutted the fish monster. Its body felt so slimy. Shorty! Whoa! My body got blown back. That's when I went unconscious. I had barely regained consciousness. I tried to move, but I wasn't able to. I was in the dining hall, and I'd been tied to the table. That fish monster and the suit of armor were walking around me. That's when I noticed the smell of incense. Someone had made a wreath of hypericums and placed it under my head. It seemed like they were going to kill me here. The suit of armor looked at me as it listlessly swung its sword around. Why must human life be so short? The suit of armor's casual gesture seemed to say. Once it plunged that sword down into me, my life would be over. And then... Earthquake! The house began to shake intensely. The quake was so intense that it made it impossible to stand, and it was getting even worse. Both the suit of armor and the fish monster were incapacitated. I see. I figured out what was going on here. It was Nami's mom. She was trying to save me. Suddenly, fire sprung from the walls, and the floor and curtains were set ablaze! The shadow had made its move. It was trying to keep her mother from moving the mansion. The mansion became quiet, as if it was racked with pain. At that moment, the fire on the walls, the floor, and the curtains disappeared. The suit of armor and the fish monster were moving again. The ritual, it seemed, was about to resume. At long last, Naomi had appeared. Her wheelchair stopped right beside me. Only just now, able to move my tied body around a bit, I saw Naomi's mummy looking at me. The suit of armor raised its sword over me. But at that very moment, the wheelchair rammed right into it. Parts of the armor got scattered everywhere, and the rope that had been used to tie me down was cut. I slammed down on the floor. Run! I felt like Naomi's mummy had told me that. But why? I had no idea what was going on. Run! This time, I heard the mummy's muffled voice, clear as a bell. A, what's going on? I couldn't help but shout. B, I decided to leave the thinking for later and push my way past the mummy to escape. B, we'll run. That's what she said to do. I decided to leave the thinking for later and push my way past the mummy to escape. That's when I heard Nami's voice. Shorty! Startled, I stopped dead in my tracks. Shorty! Answer me! Where are you? For some reason, I couldn't bring myself to respond. Suddenly, a door opened on its own, right before my eyes. It felt like the mansion itself was inviting me to go inside, so I went in. The door gently closed behind me. Oddly enough, I didn't feel like I'd been trapped in the room. On the contrary, I felt like I was being kept safe there. Shorty! Shorty, where are you? Nami sounded sad as she drew closer. I held my breath. Shorty! I could sense Nami's presence just outside the door. I suddenly felt guilty. Nami was searching so hard to find me. She needed me to be there for her. What was I doing here? I'm here, Nami. A, I wanted to shout out to her, but I held it in. B, I shouted out to her. Hold it in, something's up. I wanted to shout out to her, but I held it in. I could hear Nami walking away. But did I do the right thing? You did the right thing. Who said it? A voice said to me. Who's there? I looked around. Suddenly, the door opened. What? Shorty, what were you doing in a place like this? It was Nami. Why didn't you respond when I called out to you? For some reason, I couldn't bring myself to give an honest answer. Who cares about that? How did you know I was here? Oh, Nami laughed. You big dummy. I have my ways. I can't tell what's going on. Nami always had a sort of psychic power. I remembered it now. What are you doing here, Shorty? Come on, let's go. Nami took my hand. The mansion shook, as if it was warning me not to go. Is it Naomi? Has it been Naomi the whole time? Like the whole time when she was calling for us? Oh, Nami, let's stay here for a while longer. No, we have to get out. Nami pulled hard on my hand. The mummy in the wheelchair appeared before us just as we were trying to leave. Maybe the mummy is Nami somehow. Maybe it's been Naomi since we entered the mansion. Both the mansion and the mummy seem to be doing everything in their power to stop me from leaving with Nami. No. Why are my own mom and sister trying to stop me from leaving? Nami screamed, and at that moment, the four walls erupted in flames. Ah! The whole area around us had been set ablaze, and Naomi's mummy, still sitting on the wheelchair, rose up to the ceiling with the smoke. At our sides, the glass doors in the cabinets shattered one after another. Naomi, please stop doing this. With tears in her eyes, Nami screamed at the top of her lungs. I saw Nami's reflection in a mirror in the room. I nearly screamed when I did. There, in the mirror, was Nami with that demonic look on her face. Stop it, Naomi, stop! The real Nami seemed totally oblivious to what was in the mirror. There in the mirror, her eyes started to glow red. The wheelchair, which had been floating in the area, fell down to the ground. Naomi's mummy was thrown out. The demonic girl's eyes were still glowing. Naomi's mummy spit out black smoke and burned down to her white bones before my eyes. Ugh! I fled out of the room, which was now filled with flames. I ran into her mother's room. It was the room where we'd first seen the mummy, where her diary had turned to ash. When I entered, the door closed on its own. I felt the presence of her mother there with me. "You're here, aren't you? Nami's mother?" "Yes." The soul of the mansion answered directly to my inner mind. That wasn't Naomi's shadow, was it? It was Nami's. "Yes." Her mother's soul spoke to me. "I too once believed that Naomi was the one doing everything, but when Naomi got turned into a mummy, that's when I knew that she wasn't the one. It was Nami. Nami's soul was causing all of this." Her mother's soul continued, telling me more of the sad details. Sent out of her home at the age of 7, Nami had been separated from both me and Naomi, who she loved so much. She must have been so lonely. That loneliness turned into resentment. The grudge she bore gave birth to her shadow. I felt sorry for Nami, who had no idea about any of this. What's going to happen to her now? Her mother's soul answered sadly. A person's shadow grows larger while its creator is unaware, and eventually that person will become taken over by their shadow. Nami's going to get taken over by her own shadow? I shivered. Nami. I started remembering all of the fun times we had together. Is there a way I can stop that from happening? Stopping it from happening would result in her death. Nami's mom didn't beat around the bush. If you prevent her shadow from taking control of her body, she will die. The only other option is to have someone kill her before that happens. I felt like I was going to faint. What if neither of those options work? Her body will live on, but her mind will be consumed by her shadow. She will be dead on the inside. So Nami's effectively dead no matter what I do. The situation couldn't be worse. Oh, what should I do? Nami. Nami, 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 Nami. Her mom suddenly vanished, seemingly overcome by fear. The door opened. Nami was standing there. Nami. She looked pale. Should I tell her the truth? I knew it would be hard on her, but I decided to tell her everything, for her sake. Be afraid of how Nami might react, I decided not to tell her, for her sake. We'll tell her. I knew it would be hard on her, but I decided to tell her everything, for her sake. Nami. Tried as hard as I could to remain calm. Nami, there's something we need to talk about. Nami stared at me, saying nothing. Nothing that's been happening to us today has made any sense. You might not even be surprised by this after all that's happened, but there's something I need to tell you. I took a deep breath. There are 2 things I need to tell you first. One is that I've loved the person you've been up until now, and the other is that I'll keep on loving the person who you're going to become just as much. I started crying. Before you say anything else, there's something I need to show you, Shorty. Before you say anything else, there's something I need to show you, Shorty. Come with me. Nami led me to a room on the 2nd floor. This is my late father's room. Nami had turned away and was rummaging through something. From behind, she looked just like the same as ever, I thought to myself. This is the point when the Nami I know would turn around and shout boo, and stick her tongue out at me. But thinking of that didn't stop my tears. Nami turned around. She was holding a sword in her hands. Nami. I thought she intended to stab me to death with the sword. She gonna kill herself? I was sure that I was about to die. But I was wrong. Nami just stood there, crying. Shorty, this sword belonged to my dad. Please take it and kill me with it. Nami? I heard everything, Shorty. I heard you talking with my mom in my heart. Nami's tears poured out endlessly. We all know the situation here. I don't want to be taken by my shadow. Stab me with this sword while I can still think for myself. Don't be stupid. I could never do that to you. Shorty, please. Are you going to let me be taken by my shadow? Once the shadow takes hold of me, it will gain even more power than ever before. I could hear the pain in Nami's voice. Once my shadow takes control of me, it will do terrible things. It will kill people. I can defeat it, though, with your help. Kill me. Nami put the sword in my hands. Do it. Hey, this is nonsense. I tossed it aside. Okay, I took the sword and thrust it forward. I can't do it. This is nonsense. I tossed it aside. The sword vanished out the window into the darkness. Oh, Nami took a few steps back. Shorty, I'm happy you did that. But still, it's no good. The shadow is going to overtake me. At that moment, Nami's body suddenly went stiff, and then a strange cackle escaped from Nami's mouth. You're her shadow. It seemed almost like Nami's arms stretched out like snakes, and before I knew what hit me, she had her hands wrapped tightly around my throat. Nami. I was struggling to pull away from Nami's hands, and she was fighting to keep them wrapped around my throat. Don't give up in there, Nami. I finally managed to pry Nami's fingers off my throat. Listen, Nami. It's not your fault. The shadow's just taking control of your hands, that's all. Shorty, it's too late for me. Nami pushed me away. Oh, Nami. Nami flung herself off the balcony. No, Nami! Nami! I ran to the end of the balcony. Ugh! A fierce wind whipped around me. Nami had fallen very close by. I'm sure this was by the will of the mansion, her mother. No, it was her mother's love. I'm sure she refused to let Nami die, and just like Nami's mother, I had no intention of letting her die either. Nami softly opened her eyes. Nami! Shorty. Nami, you're alive. Your mom must have kept you safe. Shorty, let's leave this mansion now, Nami. I'm not exactly sure how we'll be able to do it, but we put our heads together, I know we'll come up with a way. Thanks, Shorty, but it's too late for me. I know it is. I'm already almost entirely under the Shadow's control. As she said that, her face was slowly twisting into something demonic. Shorty. Beads of sweat were forming on her forehead. She gritted her teeth, both of her hands gripped into fists. Naya seemed to be enduring great pain as she fought to hold back her inner shadow. If you're not going to kill me, then at least run away from me. I can't keep this up anymore. Leave me, Shorty, and run away. Don't even start with that nonsense, Nami. I'm begging you, Shorty. Nami's cheeks were streaked with tears. I'll do what I can to keep my shadow bound to this place. I'll do everything in my power to make sure it doesn't hurt anyone who doesn't enter the mansion. Just get out of here while you still can, Shorty. Nami. Nami's face was looking more and more devilish. It's only a matter of time now, Shorty. Run! The last word was howled rather than spoken, thick and demonic. Hey, okay, I'll do it, I said, just to calm Nami down. B, I shouted back, don't be stupid, I'm not leaving your side. B, of course. And then fire erupted from Nami's body. Nami! My cry was swallowed up in the flames. Shorty, run! When Nami cried out one last time, the flames doubled in intensity. Then I started to hear laughter amidst the flames. Nami! But the flames and the laughter vanished then, as if they were swallowed up by the mansion. The mansion then swallowed up the blazing shadow and went silent. I snuck closer. The windows of the mansion were bright and red. I peeked inside. It was a sea of fire. The entrance hall was filled with flames. Nami was in there. Her body was floating in the center of the hall, amidst the flames. Her head hung limp and her eyes were closed, as if she was unconscious. Her arms were held up to the right and left, just like the crucified body of Christ. Flames were being emitted by Nami's body there in the entrance hall, but nothing appeared to be burning. Clearly, these weren't real flames. It was more like the shadow's breath. I imagined it might even be cold to the touch. I thought about how much I wanted to save Nami. Could I do that, though? I wouldn't even stand a chance. Then a window opened before me, without a sound. I imagined that her mother, the house, opened it for me. Something shining white came up to my feet. It was gleaming and released a white light. I knew in my heart that it was the ghost of Naomi. Naomi and her mother were here, and they were on my side. They gave me courage. I snuck in through the window and was surrounded by a cool flame. Nami! I've come to save you, Nami! I shouted as loud as I could. Nami, who was floating above me, didn't open her eyes, but the flames around her became hot. Ugh! You fool, the sound of the mad shadow was speaking to me. You will roast to death in my flames. Do it! I'm not going to die until I get Nami back. Other than getting burned in the fire, I had no other trick up my sleeves. The mansion shook to give my words more weight. The flames became stronger, lashing out at the mansion. The fire was spreading all over the mansion. The mansion gave its biggest quake and summoned the wind. The flames in the mansion were at war with each other. The wind whipped the flames from all four corners of the room into one single ball of fire. And at that moment, as if she had been waiting for the chance, Naomi, glowing at my feet, flew straight into the center of the flames. The flames turned white and scattered from Nami's body to the four corners of the room. In that instant, the shadow had been ripped from Nami's flesh. Nami fell down into my arms. Now, go! Run! The souls of Naomi and her mother spoke to me at the same time. The two of us will handle her shadow. You have to hurry. Above our heads were the red and black burning shadow's flames, the shining white of Naomi's soul and the soft purple light of her mother's ghost. They had started an explosive battle there. Steam came up from below my feet, signaling to me that the boiler was about to explode. I didn't have time to think. I held Nami as we made our escape. We reached the top of a nearby hill, and then I looked back at the mansion. I could see that the battle between the red and black flames, the white light of Naomi's soul, and the purple light of her mother's ghost was still going on. It was a dazzling and chaotic display of countless sparks, and paired with the boiler exploding, it felt like the Big Bang had just occurred. I could hear a low-frequency sound, and then we got hit by the shockwave. Shorty. Nami opened her eyes in a daze. Shorty, am I me? Am I really me? Look, Nami. Your mom and Naomi were able to defeat your shadow. Nami stood up and we watched the sparks flying through the sky. They're beautiful. The sparks scattered in all directions, raining down over us, transforming the Hyperiosomes into beautiful-looking flowers. I thought the Hyperiosomes were pretty nice-looking to begin with. I think they look worse now that they're white. It's the credits. So we've cleared another ending. I think we still have 3 more to go, and then we can get the pink bookmark, which I guess is its own little thing. What did you think of this ending? How would you rank it overall? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We are over an hour long. You always think the playthroughs are going to be shorter because of how much we had to skip, but nope. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!